I'm just gonna tape this and maybe put it up later on. I don't know. I'm in a weird back and forth state where I'm either in the middle of a mental crisis with everything that's going on, or I'm trying to calm down and just watch a movie or something just to try to get my mind off of it. So I'm going to either watch Get Back right now or something else. I don't know if I'm going to put this up anytime soon, so we'll see. It's maybe way later. Okay, it says there are parts of it, so I'm going to do, I think maybe I'll do the South Park thing first, and then do Get Back later on. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I went ahead with Get Back right at the beginning. I did not realize they were that young when they started. I knew they were teenagers, but I thought they were like, 16, 17. They were all 16, so I didn't know. Said George was 13. I mean, come on now. I'm not saying that of course kids can have bands. It's just that they became the Beatles. For the record, if we're doing a Beatles versus Rolling Stones thing, I'll tell you I like the Rolling Stones better, and I don't dislike the Beatles, but I'm going to tell you something that describes my personality and anything anybody needs to know about me. I like the Monkees better than the Beatles. Anyway, we go on. I tell you what, it's really cool to watch movies you can sing along to. That's how I felt watching Rocket Man, which was my favorite movie that year. And I did see the movie, the one that came around the same time, where the guy went into the world without the Beatles. No, it wasn't called Imagine. What was it called? Yesterday. Imagine almost make more sense, but Imagine wasn't the Beatles, right? Okay, anyways. I must have watched 2 whole half a minutes. Here we go. And I'll say one more thing before this really starts. I have 2 favorite Beatles songs because I feel like they're 2 different kinds of Beatles. And I Love Her from the early Beatles, and then Come Together from the later Beatles. Okay, now that I've got all, and Ringo was my favorite, and for I don't know if it was MTV or what channel used to play the movies like Help and Hard Day's Night, but I preferred Help. And I used to watch a Beatles cartoon, and I loved it when Ringo lost his pet frog, and he just went around the whole episode going, Bartholomew. Alright, I'm saying all this before I used to get into this. I think that's my whole... And Paul McCartney kind of aggravates me. But he's Paul McCartney now, Sir Paul McCartney now, and it's like... But out of the 4, back before anybody was really old, and we had to just be nice to old people. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think I said it all now. I should also say that I had a VHS tape of the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band movie starring the Bee Gees. I love that movie, and full disclosure, I tend to like the Bee Gees versions of the Beatles songs better because why? Because they're better singers. I'm admitting to everything, but I do like the Beatles. I'm sorry, I can't help but imagine how many of us are sitting there going, na, 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 na. All together. Well, not together because we're all watching it at different times. It'd be great if it played on TV and we all sang together and raised the earthly vibration by way of Hey Jude. But, it just occurred to me how we're all doing exactly the same thing. Alright, so right off the bat, they're doing rehearsals and Yoko's sitting right next to John, and I can already hear it. But the thing is, the way I always see it, you have the 4 Beatles, right? If Yoko being around all the time caused a problem, it's not Yoko's fault, that's John's fault. Because imagine that you're married to somebody, and then all of a sudden, they bring somebody into that marriage, and the person's just there all the time. So a band can be like a marriage, especially when you've been together since forever and all that stuff like that. And, Honestly, if I was trying to play guitar and somebody was sitting there just watching, I'd freak out. I wouldn't be able to play. Not that I could play guitar anyway, but you understand what I'm saying. Because I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, couldn't she be sitting with the monk guy over there? But I'm not saying she couldn't be there. She had the right to, but I would be like, if I was in a band and we were rehearsing and somebody brought their significant other, I'd be like, are you just visiting? So when you leave it, because you know what I mean? The chemistry now has different energy. That was a growly tummy. So I have no problem with Yoko Ono. I think she's great. You know. But I can see how, like, if you're in a dynamic and then somebody's just there all the time. I haven't heard she hasn't said a word yet. I'm just saying I can already think of people saying stuff right already. Just, it's like, yeah, okay. Is he singing with a cigar? Is that good for you? I never saw that. I must have seen it. To me, now I said that, I was like, some blues person must have done that on stage. But it just looked so weird to me. Is that... I think you're supposed to have tea with lemon. Okay, you know what? I'm actually used to her sitting there now, so it don't matter. There's so many people in and out. But, Ringo put his foot down because he doesn't want to go abroad. That's interesting. I didn't think of him as that type. Well, he is a Cancer, isn't he? They're supposed to be homebodies. Did Ringo just tap dance? I'm learning all kinds of stuff about Ringo. Paul does look better with the beard because it gives him a chin. Must be a wonderful thing to be a young person and be able to just write a song. I don't know, you creative people who can do that. Pretty awesome. I changed glasses. After what I said about writing just then, I checked Twitter real quick, and Playbill had posted a tribute to Stephen Sondheim from this past Sunday because he passed away. This is when I'm filming this. And it was just so awesome and goosebumpy. Just, it's funny because I was just talking about being able to create and write a song, right? But yeah, you should watch that if you... I'll see if it's on... I think it's only on Playbill maybe, but if it's on YouTube, I'll put it over there. I can't believe I instantly recognized the theme from The Third Man and then said to myself, no, that can't be, because why would they be playing it? But I was right. I'm so proud of myself. I think I figured out why there are two microphones on their stands. I'm wicked smart. No, really though. Why is the drummer always the quiet one though? I mean, he hasn't said a peep for like the longest time. Anyways, looks like somebody let the Sandman loose in that. Well, it's not a studio. Well, it is a studio. Y'all so sleepy. I don't know why I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I feel like Ringo's the only one that uses conditioner. I still insist, and I only really ever insisted this to myself, but ever since the beginning and looking at Casey Affleck, I always thought he looked like George Harrison. Just saying. Accidentally stopped recording. Anyway, why does George, when he's talking, it sounds like ADR? Everybody else sounds regular, but he sounds like ADR, which it can't be ADR, but it's weird. George is pretty cranky for a guy who brought two holy men's with him. She's reading the newspaper. That's going to sound like an avalanche when she turns a page. I mean, now she's folding the pages of the paper and like writing stuff. It's making a bunch of noise. Let's say I'd never seen the Beatles before in my life, right? And somebody said, watch this. Ringo would be my favorite again already. It's just like, I don't know, man. I'm desperate to focus this camera. I don't think it's me. I think it's the original thing. George like totally wants to beat the shit out of Paul. It's funny. I know Ringo wasn't comfortable being above them all with all that drama going on. So he moved down. He's clappy now. I mean, it's entirely possible that they are the Beatles and Four Jerks. I'm not saying they are. Just saying. Was Paul McCartney talking about an insurrection? He wanted to go play in the Houses of Parliament and get kicked out. Hey, I'm all for it. The glare from John and the hospital idea with the kids with just broken legs. Oh man, I don't know. This guy wants to go to, what are you saying, Tripoli? Oh, they've got like 11 days or something, right? And they don't know where they're doing it. I really just want to yell at that guy and just yell in that room. Would you people all leave these four guys alone? Let them do what they're doing. Constant harping on the show. I mean, honestly, leave them alone. Let them Beatles. Let them be. Tolls. See? Now they're getting divorced. I told you it was a marriage. See? They finally caught on that they needed to be alone. I told you. I could literally watch stuff like this all day long. I'm realizing I'm sitting here going, you know what you're a behind the scenes junkie, because when DVDs came and I was forced to buy DVDs, the great thing was they had all these extras on there. And then when the Blu-rays came, they started only putting all the extras on the Blu-ray. But I just love behind the scenes stuff. I could really watch, like, especially something like this. I could watch this just even, like, you know, back in, I always think, I can't still think of myself in the present. So I'm thinking like watching on a TV, like if it was on a channel, you know, I just leaving it on just all day and doing stuff and watching it every time it came on and just leaving it on while I go about the rest of my business. Yeah, stuff is awesomely cool. Nothing's gonna change my world. Nothing's gonna change my world. I know I'm a great singer. I just felt like doing that. I'm immediately gonna pause and see where I can watch Out of the Unknown. You know, I really need to be independently wealthy. You think George was being cranky because he was getting stifled over here because he went home and wrote a little song over here by himself, I Me Mine? And I do like a lot of George's solo songs. Maybe it was already, he was getting claustrophobic. John said Fisher Wives right when I was thinking it was a sea shanty. See that? Sea shanties are the bomb. I wish I knew more stuff. I suck. See, they just needed it closer to the date, and I think that song changed the energy because George stopped being cranky. So the whole vibe changed. I believe. I'm making shit up. But that's what it seems like. That guitar's drunk. Go home. Drunk guitar. Honestly, can't help but want to waltz. This song's great, man. They're arguing about where to do it. Not for nothing. I liked where they were with the, you know, when Ringo was up there and it had the red and the purple and the green or whatever. I thought that looked cool, but this is when they end up going on the roof, right? Right? I mean, spoiler alert. Michael is annoying me, and he's my new candidate for who broke up the Beatles because he's just making everything difficult. You just complain about everything and just trying to, I don't know. He's overdoing it. This Parthenon looking place that he keeps wanting them to go to, it doesn't make no sense to me. So I don't know why. I mean, I've never been an outdoor theater to amphitheater type person anyways, in terms of concerts, because The only people who can see go to the people right down in the front. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know why he keeps insisting on it. Maybe he struck a deal with somebody, but it's getting really annoying. Because it's like, he's trying to be the boss of them. It's like, they're the Beatles. They know better than you. You know what this is? This is some Yanni shit. Yanni's the kind of person who plays those places. Red Rocks and all that, whatnot. John Tesh, whatever. You get my drift. Can you imagine the Beatles having a hard time getting a boat? This whole boat idea is stupid and it's starting to piss me off. Yeah, I want to punch everybody in there. I mean, as far as I can tell, 3 Beatles don't want to do it. And you know, the other one's just going along with everything. At this point, I want to fight Michael. I can't. Like, why is he pushing it so bad? You're not a Beatle, bro. How did Paul never see The Wizard of Oz? What? I mean, the younger kids, the younger generations now, they haven't seen it, and that scares the crap out of me because my generation, Gen X, and I guess people a little bit older, I don't know about how much younger, but when we were kids and there were 3 channels, we used to watch The Wizard of Oz every year because it came on TV and it was like an event and every kid watched it. So it was like the United States was a United Nation. Not the United Nations, but you get my drift. So when people say they haven't seen The Wizard of Oz, especially if they're my age or older, especially like I mean, it would have been out before he was born, but it must have played on TV in England when he was a kid growing up. It's a kid's movie. Oh my goodness. See, now watching George play the drums, I just get the feeling he was kind of bored. That's why he was being, like I said, cranky before. It kind of shocks me how many of these songs I know, but like I said, I just repeatedly watched that movie with the Bee Gees. And my brain doesn't work, so the fact that these songs just really, the words are just in there, the lyrics, pretty good. I mean, I know these versions too, it's not like I never heard them, but my brain has Bee Gees in there. I missed what happened and what the wound was, but they seem to be getting along in the beginning, but Paul just went like this. I think it was because of what John said. I missed the incident, or was this the old incident? Did they dig up old wounds? I don't really know what happened. But they looked fine before. No, John just said leave the group if you don't like it. What the hell happened? I was watching. I'm over here like this. Is he literally just teaching them, let it be right now? I got a candle on over there too. It sounded like something, I didn't explode anything. They're making me want to have toast and tea so bad, but I don't have any bread. I mean, I have hot dog buns. But I'm just like, oh. Because I can't even, this is one of the things that happened to me in my old age. I'm not good at eating bread. It's got to be very particular. And toasted would be like the way that toast looks, all perfect and everything. Probably will bother my tummy. Just, there's been so much toast and tea in this. The coat and jacket game in this whole thing, it's just been amazing. It's like, who's got the best jacket? Now Ringo's walking around in that gray one. It's just like amazing. Does George Harrison have low self-esteem? He keeps talking about Eric Clapton. It's very weird. So George literally walks right here? He just goes? What? Is this a twist that I wasn't expecting in this movie? Every time they act out, they turn into the Who. When Yoko came in and Don't Let Me Down, I almost fainted. This is the most unexpected thing. I want to run away. Oh my God, they've all lost their minds. Look what George Harrison did. If he doesn't come back by Tuesday, we get Clapton. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. That would kill me. The three of them huddled up. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's like... It's the end of part 1. It's like the saddest ending since Graveyard of the Fireflies. So anyways, how do I feel about this? Look at this. It's terrible. I mean, that it exists is a 10 out of 10. I mean, they're probably all going to be 10 out of 10. How else can they be? Hang on. Here's the thing about Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson obviously directed my favorite film of all time, Fellowship of the Ring. Now, I don't list him as one of my favorite directors because I've been waiting to really like another of his movies outside of Tolkien. There are the other ones that are good. They're just not my favorite. This is a documentary that's really, you know, put together footage, and I really liked the editing towards the end there before George walked. So I don't know who's the editor, but yeah, what do you say? This is amazing. I don't know where this stuff was before. I didn't get any of the backstory on this thing. I probably will before I do the next one, but I am going to end up putting this up. My life's in the toilet, and I shouldn't be doing frivolous things like reviews, but I kind of thought maybe that'd be a path for me someday. Not in this way. A more professional way if I had more skills, and if I lived in a city where I could go see the newest movies. I thought maybe that was a way I could do my own thing. But this is what I do. So I will watch the other 2 parts. Don't know when. I'll put this together and put it up as soon as possible. So yeah, like I said, 10 out of 10. What else can you do? It's like, well, it's not like it, but as close as I could think of is This Is It, the Michael Jackson one. I mean, I never cried harder at a movie in my life. Obviously seeing that in the theater, but this is great. I mean, this would have been cool to see in the theater, except it's 3 parts. Yeah, Peter Jackson can't have anything that's that's short and sweet. Oh my God, I can't believe this ending. It's so sad. So I'll be back on the next 2.